All right, folks. How we doing today? Hope everyone had a good holiday yesterday. I mean, weather's nice. Really can't complain about anything. But getting back to normal programming. So for today, I want to take a look at the first two albums by Grim Reaper, the seminal new wave of British heavy metal band. As I deal with bad glare that wasn't there a second ago. See You in Hell, originally on Ebony Records. Well, this is an original press, but it's the RCA Victor 1. And the follow up, Fear No Evil, from 1985. So, actually, the other one was 84. Oops. The only thing that changed member wise is everyone's mostly the same. Steve Grimmin on vocals, rest in peace. Nick Bocott on guitar, Dave Wanklin on bass. But with See You in Hell, Lee Harris on drums, and then it's Mark Simon on the follow up. So, again, these were. I wish they had came with the inner dust jacket, but you know, I wouldn't have gotten such a nice deal on them for once $20. It would have been like 40. I checked with the third. I don't have the third album yet, but I found a mint copy of it on Discogs, and ooh, $40. Who would have thought? But you know what? It's probably gonna be totally worth it because this is right down to that sleeve. This is just so damn iconic. I might have to get something for the wall and just one of those little shelves and just put this on there because I need a T-shirt of this too. What am I saying? So what do we got here? We got the legendary title track, "See You in Hell, My Friend," "Dead on Arrival," DOA, "Dead on Arrival." Sorry, I can't do those high wails and screams, but this is a performance by Steve Grimmin on this. Right to the Ripper. Ooh, yeah. The Ripper goes down the hole. All right. Run for Your Life. These All Hell Let Loose to close it. It's a product of its time. Again, this is a new wave of British heavy metal band. So early Iron Maiden, Saxon, Witchfinder General, Angel Witch. So most of these songs are going to be in the 2-3 minute range, straightforward, hard hitting, anthemic choruses. The one exception is, and I think it's my favorite on the album, is a 7-minute track called "The Show Must Go On," and Steve just puts in this really emotional performance. And I forgot he was the original singer for Chateau, if I'm not mistaken. So now I gotta dig for that again. I completely forgot. I haven't heard that album in 15, 16 years, probably. It was on a YouTube video, so yeah, now I got another thing to look at. But Steve really goes all out through the emotions. He gives you much more broader depth on "Show Must Go On," and it sets up what's coming on the next album. Now, I'd also might add that this is your bare bones, down and dirty production, and it works really well for what this is. And it deserves its legend status. I have that little logo on the back. I have got to shut these blinds next time. Love this. Now, I've played that album at least 12 times in full so far, not counting going on YouTube doing my walks, but you start to jog and then you start doing the yeah, and people start looking at you like, what the hell? But I love "The Show Must Go On." It reminds me of Leo Sayer's track a little bit. Not the same style and not the version that Three Dog Night would cover with the whole carnival circus sound effect keyboard and all that. I mean, just the sense of the relationship's coming to an end, and you know what? He's just got to keep going and keep living. So that's ostensibly, I'd say that's the best Grim Reaper album. There's no argument on that point. Now, that said, on this little follow-up here, "Fear No Evil," with the badass bike going through the stained glass windows, I would like to say that this album does not deserve the rap it gets. The reason I say that is, and I appreciate it, it took a couple of listens to really get into it. Maybe I burnt myself out at first listening to See You in Hell so many times in a row. But third or fourth spin through on this, I really enjoyed it. I think part of the problem is maybe on the record, but it seems like the production doesn't quite work as well on this album. Like it seems for stereo, like where it was fine on the first album, there's not as much separation. Maybe there's a little bit of it's analog recording and it has limits, but it feels like you hit the limits in the channels a little bit. And unlike the last one, this is more not progressive per se. It's that the songs are now going from 2-3 minutes. There's a bunch of them that are, 4 minutes, more in the 4 minute range the whole way through, except for Final Scream that's over 5. It's the only one over 5. But, sorry, touchscreen. It's what I appreciate though, being a fan of Iron Maiden, Deep Purple, Def Leppard to an extent, is that for this album, the band didn't just stay put with the same thing. I really appreciate that Steven and Nick especially were stretching out. The artwork perfectly fits the point. They're painting with broader strokes, with a richer palette of instrumentation and things like that. I'm not saying they added more instruments. I'm just saying there's all of a sudden you've got these really flashy melodic solos coming through on quite a few of these, which on See You in Hell is just more straightforward. But you listen to Matter of Time or Never Coming Back, and you all of a sudden Nick will break out into these almost Richie Blackmore like melodies and go a little bit faster, and then it poof, pops out at you. So it's a little disjarring, I think, for the people who really get into the straight ahead debut. But if you give this album a chance, a few listens, there's no issue with it. So again, fear no evil. Right off the bat, Steve with the high notes. It punches you in the face again. I like Never Coming Back, Lord of Darkness. Rock and Roll Tonight starts out a little cheesy at the beginning. What are we going to do tonight? Rock. I'm like, okay, whatever. But it's a lot of fun. Let Their Thunder Roar. That might be my favorite, and that totally fits in with the album cover, too. Really driving number. And I didn't care for the opening and the outro at first for Final Scream. I know Dying Fetus covered it, and they changed it from Michael to Davey. So it does have that little bit right there. It does give it some historical relevance and some credence to go back to it. Just made me laugh like an idiot the first couple times. I was like, what the hell are they doing here? But it's a great song. Pardon. One last thing. Fight for the Last. Good shit. And I hate to say it, but whenever I see the title Lay It on the Line, I'm immediately thinking of that other Canadian power trio led by Rick Emmett. And I keep, it's Triumph, 1979 album, playing the game, and it's Lay It on the Line. Thankfully, it's not that. Don't get me wrong, I love Triumph, but every time I look at it, the first time I bought it, I went, oh no, is this going to be a reworked cover? It doesn't say anything about it being one. Fortunately, it straight ahead, Grim Reaper, kick-ass track. And yeah, so that's my thoughts. And I gotta get on that third album. I just gotta stick to a budget, get an actual microphone instead of using this drizzling shit audio from the computer. But we'll show it off one more time. Yeah. There's that damn glare. Yeah, these are great. You can get them. You could probably get these real easy now on CD or find a used copy. But it's good to have the original RCA vinyls. Oof. Why did I say vinyls? Whatever. Go check this out, and especially the last two from 2016 and 2019 when it was Steve Grimmett's Grim Reaper. I wish they were still here. Wish they were doing something, but this is incredible. I think I'm gonna go play that "See You in Hell" again for the 13th or 15th time, whatever it is at this stage. I can't stop listening to it. It's like when you meet somebody years ago, you have a connection, and then you don't see them, and then one day, there they are again, and you start talking like you found an old friend, and now you got all these years to make up for. So I love that first album. Second album starting to really catch fire with me at this point, and we'll go from there. I might even start making my send-offs to these videos as "See You in Hell, my friend." We'll see. I'm thinking about it. But till the next video, thanks for tuning in. And you know what? See you in hell, my friends.